Hello my friends. I'm going to share with you a recipe of fermented vegetables. This is one that I like to eat a lot, and it consists of two different cabbages, either a colored, I like the purple, or just a regular green head. And I like to use this Napa lettuce or cabbage, carrots, onions, and some garlic. And I'll put a little bit of chopped up cayenne that I have dried, and just to give it a little bit of a kick. So there's a reason for eating fermented vegetables. It helps your digestive tract, the gut system. And there are about 100 trillion bacteria living in your gut system, yeast and bacteria. And most of them you want to have on the good side, the good bacteria. Lactobacillus is one of the predominant ones. And you need to continue to boost this good bacteria that's living inside you. So it's like a symbiotic relationship between the bacteria in your body. And you need the good bacteria in there to help your digestive tract and help with your health. So what we're going to do is cut up all these vegetables, and we're going to add salt to this. And I like to measure or weigh the vegetables that I'm using, because I mix it randomly in a large bowl. And when I measure that, I know what the ratio of the salt should be approximately. And it should be about, for every 5 pounds of vegetables, 3 tablespoons of salt. And I use either the Himalayan salt or sea salt. You don't want to use iodine salt. That would be bad for the bacteria. Also, when you make a salt brine, you want to use water that is not chlorinated. So my tap water is spring water, so I'll be using my tap water. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up all these vegetables and weigh them, and then see what we need to add. Little multitasking here with the left hand. Still pretty quick. I find the best way to cut the cabbage is to quarter it and then remove the cores, and then it chops up pretty easy. These are dried cayenne, and the seeds are going to go in with it. I'm putting 2 into this batch. Carrots, they're organic, so you're going to see not in perfect condition, but no chemicals. And I like to shred these. I did rinse them off. I didn't worry about washing them too good. The fermentation process, the bacteria that, or yeast and bacteria that's in there is everywhere around us. So there's a little bit of dirt on there. That's adding the bacteria to it. I leave the ends on these. That gives me a handle, so we don't put any of my knuckles into the mix. Okay, everything's chopped. There you have it. Let's see what the weight is. And 4.5 pounds. So for every 5 pounds we need 3 tablespoons of salt. So we're just, it's only a approximation, so I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of sea salt to this batch. Not quite 5 pounds, close enough. Okay, this salt, what it's going to do is help release a lot of the liquids out of the vegetables. And what you want to do then is to mix everything to distribute the salt. And we can add some water to help make it in contact. But a lot of the liquids are going to come out of the vegetables themselves. See, it's already starting to look wet. This fermentation process, it's been done for thousands of years, and I think most of the reason was to preserve the food. And when you have a lot of cabbage, cabbage is a high yield per pound and per acre, and to preserve cabbage, traditionally they made sauerkraut. And I used to help my grandmother make sauerkraut, and what she would do is take about a bushel of cabbage, chop it up and put it into a crock, and she had me pound it with a wooden post or a stomper. And as it would crush the cabbage, and she would salt it at the same time, as it would crush, it would be releasing all the moisture, and she used to scoop off moisture from the vat and put the entire bushel of cabbage into one 2-gallon crock. So it was amazing that it could be compressed like that. After setting and working this, I've been punching it down and squeezing it. And you can see the juice coming out of it. And that's making the brine. And you can put this right into quart jars, but I'm going to use this, it's an artichoke heart is what was in that one. Use a pickle jar. So that large mass that we had is now shrinking. And you don't have to be too neat. And then you want to push this down and pack it in. My counter's clean. Cleaning up. The cabbage released so much liquid that I didn't have to add any brine to this solution. You want to try to leave a little bit of head space in this. When it's fermenting, it's going to foam a little bit. And you may have some of it sneak out of the jar. You want to keep oxygen out of this. This fermentation is anaerobic. It'll be happening without oxygen. And you want to cover, for that reason, you want to cover all the vegetables. And we got some liquid here. This is going to ferment for about 5 days to a week or so. And you can let it go as long as you'd like. You know, it'll get stronger, more vinegary-like. And to stop the fermentation, just put it in your refrigerator and it'll be good to go. So this is going to set. I'll put the lid on. If you want this loose. If I had more head space, which I probably should have, I would put a plastic ziplock with brine solution in the ziplock bag, and that would displace all the air in the top, and it would keep all the vegetables underneath the solution and guarantee that you wouldn't have any spoilage that way. You really can't mess this up. If it smells really bad, really funky, then I won't eat it, but I've never had a bad batch. And just try to keep it all under the solution and it should turn out fine. Just a note here that this will be leaking liquids out of the top. Put a container under the jar so that you can catch it and not make too much of a mess. Here you can see liquid that came out. I'll drain this and need to crack the lid so that no gas is building up, and that liquid is because the fermentation, it's expanding. As it ferments, it creates CO2 gas, and that increases the volume of the liquid. It pushes it out. This is day one. A week has gone by and this batch is finished. This batch here, this is 2 heads of purple cabbage, which I made a number of weeks ago, and I've been eating out of this. This was full. So this one here, being cabbage, fermented like this, they call it sauerkraut. However, I think of it more as a pickled cabbage because I'm used to sauerkraut that's been beat down and real soft. This one here, it's all crunchy. Real good flavor, but just too crunchy. So it's pickled. Okay, this one here is done. This is the one that has all the vegetables in it. And let's give it a taste. I've been opening this at daily to vent any of the gases. This one you can taste the garlic, and there's a hint of that cayenne, so it has a little bit of a heat to it, but it's not overbearing. It's definitely not a boring food. So this is the one that I like to eat as a condiment, and I usually eat this this type with every meal. And when I'm out of that, I go to this one. This one is finished. You can get the, taste that fermented taste that, like the sauerkraut, but with all those other elements in there, giving it a little bit of excitement. Well, I'm going to put these in the refrigerator, and that'll stop the action, the fermentation action, and it should keep for a really long time. Well, thanks for watching, my friends. Bye-bye.